Hey neighbor, Griff Hanning with HOMEfix. I'm here with Carl Adams with Red Letter Insurance, and he's graciously given us the opportunity to come to his office and pick your brain about some insurance questions.
Absolutely.
So we had a lot of hail claims, wind claims and stuff this last year, and a lot of people, a lot of our clients didn't know their coverage. Like they didn't know what their deductible is, they didn't know what was covered, so we had a lot of educating to do there, and a lot of people that just were in painful positions financially. So what are the things that people should be asking their insurance agent, like yourself,
Sure.
To know that they are covered when that disaster happens?
Yeah. I would say there's basically three things that homeowners need to pay attention to as relates to their policy, especially with roofs. The first one I would say would be making sure that you've got not an actual cash value policy, but a replacement cost value
What's the difference
policy.
Between those?
Yeah, so replacement cost, that's basically covering you in full for your roof other than your deductible. But if you've got an actual cash value policy, that's actually depreciating over time with your roof, and so you're going to end up paying way more out of pocket at the time you need to file a claim, and a lot of times people aren't aware that they've got that coverage, and so they can be very surprised and unhappy at the point that they need to file a claim.
Yeah,
so,
and we saw that happen too, where
Yes.
the replacement cost value would be $10,000, but they only get paid out $7,000 minus their deductible, and then they got to pay the other $5,000 or whatever out of pocket.
That's
so
right.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. The other thing is there are some companies out there that will only cover your policy. They may start out at replacement cost, but as your roof ages over time, every year they're covering it less and less. So say 7 years into your policy, if you find out you've got a claim, suddenly you're going to pay a lot more out of pocket, and people may not be aware of that. So make sure your coverage is full replacement cost for the life of that policy. So. And then I'd say kind of the last thing is just making sure you've got a reasonable deductible for your income and for where you're at from a savings perspective. A lot of times carriers are moving to a higher deductible, and so if you've got, for example, $1,000 deductible, that's fantastic. It's getting harder and harder to find those carriers that will still offer that. I do have a couple I work with that do offer that, but most carriers have moved to a model where it's $2,500 for the wind and hail deductible, or even a percentage base, and that can really add up if you get to a point where you could say you've got a higher end home, you've got a 1% to 2% deductible, you're paying a whole lot of money out of pocket. It's almost not even worth it to have roof coverage at that point. You're almost paying for the roof yourself. So
because it's a percentage of the dwelling, not the percentage of the claim. That's another confusion that people
aren't
have,
always aware of that. That's
so
right.
if it's a $200,000 house, it's a $2,000 deductible at 1%.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people have an $8,000 deductible and they don't even know it, right?
Exactly.
It can be in a hard spot when that happens. So
that's right.
Awesome. That's great advice, Carl.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Sure.
Hope you guys got a little bit of value out of that. And if you've got damage, give HOMEfix a call. We'll come out, make sure it's worth filing a claim or not. If you have questions about your insurance coverage, you can call Carl, call your existing agent. Where do they find you, Carl? Your website or something?
Yeah, absolutely. So redletterins.com on the web. I'm also on Facebook if you just search Carl Adams Red Letter Insurance.
Awesome. Yeah, those are three great questions to ask them. So
absolutely.
Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.